Okay, so this is a W124 mono wiper mechanism. It's a facelift one, so it's from a later car. Actually, it's from a 1994/5 multi-valve diesel, which belonged to me before, and it got hit in the car park and written off. And yes, so these post-facelift ones differ from the pre-facelift ones a little bit. The pre-facelift ones, this bit's not plastic but aluminium, and you have to take it off by taking some screws off the bottom, and also this rubber seal which goes along the bottom of the windscreen is an integral part of this one. You can't just take it off. You probably can later on, but I'm yet to work it out. Yeah, they come apart really easily. You just lift this plastic bit up here, you have to give it a bit of a jiggle, and it comes off there. Then you undo this screw, Allen bolt to go there. Then you can lift this arm up, and it looks really vicious, but this has meant to do. And you just lift, you pull it up as hard as you can, it goes click like that. I mean, yeah, it doesn't sound great, but that's how you meant to do it anyway. And then we got that off. It's got a good tight fit, which is a good sign. In fact, I thought it would be just enough. Let me just pop this back on for the video. Anyway, there we are. Right. There you are, so this comes off there. You can see how it mechanically locks in there. And then there, obviously, you can see there's a cut in it, so it also has a clamping action on it as well. This thing just unclips. And there's some, you can see there's some tabs on it. And there's this bit in the middle here. So all I'll do, I'm going to clean this all out, and yeah, give it a grease. And also, there's more mechanism under here. I'm going to sort that out as well, because you can just do that if you want to, but actually there's some more gubbins behind that really needs sorting out. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have a pre-facelift car, and the wiper mechanism on it is really slow. Sometimes it takes a minute to get from one arc to the other, so it's really had it. So I'm hoping that I can just do this one up and then just take the old one off the other car and put this one on. But there are some differences, like I said. This rubber bit is on here, which the other one doesn't have, and this is slightly different because it's plastic. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So I've undone these bolts here. They're like kind of star drive Torx bits. There's the old gasket. I've undone this very carefully, and I have using a screwdriver and cotton buds and some wipes here. The hand cleansing wipes are really good at degreasing stuff. I'm going to degrease that, which I've done a good lot of it already, and then I'm going to replace the grease with some synthetic lubes, and then put it back together again. I'm not going to take it completely apart because it's over 20 years old, and I don't want to cock any of the soldering connections up there. You can see there, and I don't think it needs it. It just needs a bit of a good old clear out, re-greasing, and then put it back together again. Okay, so the motor and the worm drive gear in there is all cleaned up and re-greased and reassembled. And next we're on to this. So we need to remove this part of the mechanism, which goes outside of that, to get in there, because that's where the sort of the wheel and half moon gears are. So to take that off, we just undo this nut, which comes off very easily. There's a washer underneath it. Then you have to remove this arm, and I made out of an old ball joint separator. I bastardised that a little bit, and that is now come up. It's actually on a that is like a kind of, I can't really see because the lights, look, you can just see it anyway, but here's a kind of a taper section with serrated edges which grabs onto there. I've also marked onto here with some marks there and there about where this position is currently on the wiper mechanism, so that I can put it back together in the same place. Look at the state of that. Interestingly, the gears they look alright. I think there's a quick feel. That one looks a bit mucky. What's that going on there? No, they're fine. They're just really gross, and they look like They look like some of them are buggered, but she's not just greasing the outside. So I'm going to clean it all up and then re-grease it with some of this super lube synthetic stuff, which just doesn't go off. Right, remember, reassemble it with that down the bottom. Then the wheel goes exactly down the middle there, into there, once I've cleaned that all out. And then once I've got those 3 marks there, lined up with those 3 marks there, then we can tighten up the circlips and all the bits and pieces in there, and it's done. Okay, so this is the wiper refurbishment I'm doing at the moment. Okay, so what I've done is all this stuff down here I've removed from round here. It's not actually too bad, it's just like Lego. You have to be careful with it because it's getting on a bit. And look at the lack of rust on this car. Rock and roll. Anyway, there are some differences between this pre-facelift car and facelift cars.
And, because I can get to it, it will remain fine, no doubt.
But anyway, yeah, rest of it, yeah, so anyway, where am I going with this? Yeah, so some of this rubber stuff is different. So I'm going to see if I can swap that over. And yeah, that's about it really. I've undone these bolts and nuts, and I'm going to go from there. But that wiping, that blower motor business, that's a bit of the result. Facelift at the bottom, pre-facelift at the top. You can see the differences. The facelift ones have all the rubber attached to it, and the pre-facelift ones don't. So I'm going to see if I can attach it with the rubber, but I think you can't do it. So I'm going to have to take them apart and transfer the rubbers over. But apart from that, they look like a straight swap. Right. Okay. So there are some slight there are some differences between the pre and post facelift ones. So I've fitted the wiper motor. I've just tested it. It works beautifully. Brilliant. These clips under here, you just see one there. They clip on that sort of, but not particularly well because they were designed for the other fitment, which is down there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, there's a nice surface there, I'm going to clean that right up, and I'm going to use a glass to rubber glue, not a permanent one but a temporary one, and glue it along here. Yeah, clean it right up and glue it along, and that's about it really. I'm going to continue putting it together, and yeah, job's a good one.